All right, my love. So this is Innocent Smith, aka the Wellness Witch, and today we have a few decks for you. Just pulled what we were called to pull. So the first deck that we were led to pull from for you is the Orisha Tarot. That is the Orisha Tarot. That's by Andrew McGregor. And then for our oracle deck, we will be using the African Gods Oracle, and really felt called to pull from the Nat Ministries Rest deck from Tricia Hersey. I do apologize. With the African Gods Oracle, that is Diego de Osisi. I apologize if we mispronounced the name, but those are the three decks that we were called to work with today for this reading. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move the Rest deck and the African Gods Oracle out of the way just for now, as we get ready to do this reading. And already done this off camera, but just for the sake of everything being everything, make sure that we take a moment to invite our ancestral spirits into this space for this particular reading, and we ask their blessings and their guidance along the way. So with that being said, let's call in our ancestors and just a little bit of the bell. Okay, so let's get started, and we're going to start off with the Orisha Tarot. And this is going to be a very simple community reading. And speaking of ancestors, just going to work with the energy of our beloved ancestors at this time. Okay, so let's get into this. Put this box off to the side. Okay, so I hope you guys are all doing well. And if you have not already, would like to invite you to take a moment to grab pen and paper, something that you can take notes with. If you want to take notes on your phone, that's perfectly fine. Whatever you need to do for keeping track of your reading, whatever works. If you like to use a journal for that, grab your journal now. Again, feel free to use your phone. Okay, so this is just a very simple community reading, and for that reason, we're going to stick with 3-card reading for now. So, what message does the universe have for the community? And ask this question with a caveat of knowing that this is a general community reading. So what message does Spirit have for the collective at this time? Okay. So this would be strength, and strength is looking down. Let's try to adjust this a bit so you guys can see your card as it come up. I apologize. I want to make sure that you can see this entire board. Let's get that squared away. At the gate. Cannot be having it where you guys can't see. Okay, hold on. Bear with me. So I want to make sure that you can see this entire board. All right, there we go. So your strength card is what came out initially. And as it is in the inverted position and where it landed, we'll say that this is indicating that your strength comes not from so much within, but your strength is coming from above. You've been looking to the heavens. You've been looking above for your strength. And you have a very strong ancestral connection to that energy. Also, more so than it just being about your strength being from above, I'm going to use one of our magic wands here just to kind of help out with this. Okay, so more so than that, right, is that for someone there is very strong feline energy that's tied to this particular ancestor who's trying to get this message out for you, as you see indicated here, right? And this particular feline that's in this tree happens to have their food along on that tree, right? Like your food is here. So saying that your nourishment, your strength, your conditioning, what you need to continue to persist in the vein that you're persisting in, all of your sustenance is coming from above, right? And there's also a bit of camouflaging going on here in this tree canopy, but as it is inverted, in other words, this, when you look and you see this feline here, this is suggesting that you're holding on by your mere fingertips, right? Like you feel like someone out there, whoever this message is for, you feel like you've been clawing your way to the top, and right about now you feel like you're holding on by your very nails, right? And you're concerned about where your next meal is coming from, but you know where your next meal is coming from. Sometimes you have to allow things to just be, because what is going on right now, it's something that's being hidden from you. Not hidden as if you don't need to know it, but the time has not come yet for that to be revealed. There's another part of that. Your next card that shows up is the Page of Swords. And your Page of Swords, once again, is inverted, right? So your inverted Page of Swords here is showing that right about now, you need to be taking note, right? You are learning. Wow, okay. And then they really wanted you to get this message. This message went all the way to the bottom. So the message that came after your Page of Wands is a Ten of Discs. But let's go back to the Page of Wands for a second, because we're not done here. Page of Swords. Apologize. So under your Page of Swords, what this is saying is that you are learning to master your emotions right now. That's why everything is feeling so upside down, why you're feeling so upside down, because you need to go deeper into your practice of being with your emotions, right? Being aware of your emotions. What is it that your emotions are trying to tell you? Are you easily triggered, right? Are you easily, I don't like using this word, right? We don't like this word, but we use trigger because we know a lot of people out there understand that. But it's saying, are you easily triggered? What is it that's triggering you? What is that trying to tell you? What is Source trying to tell you from those triggers that you're getting right now? Take note, because this is just a test, and you're going to need all of your wits about you, right, to get through this. So take note of what is happening. For some of you, you've been noticing that something just seems a bit off lately, but you're not quite sure what it is. But you're realizing that as a spiritual being, right, that you are being tested. You are an adept. For someone, you're just now trying something. You're getting into this new thing, right? So while you're in this white, you're an adept right now, right? You're a student, you're a novice. Take note. You don't know everything. It's coming. It's coming to you as quickly as you need it, but as slowly as you need it right now. You are working in your own time. Don't worry about anyone else. Stop comparing yourself to others, right? And in this sense, you are like a child. You are so like a child. Hence the Ten of Discs. With the Ten of Discs, in order to be able to handle what is coming, you've got to take note. You've got to take stock of what's coming to you, what Spirit is trying to tell you, what your ancestors are trying to tell you. Right? And this is also, it's not that it's a bad thing that you're like a child, but what this is saying is that these blessings that are coming to you and all that is happening through you, right? For you to nurture your inner child like no one ever has before. You give that inner child all the love, all the care, all the attention that they can handle, right? At times, you may feel like giving up. You may feel frustrated. You may feel like crying, right? Like you can get into this sort of infantile energy, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but when you know that that is coming, pay attention to that, because there's a message in that. Pay attention to that, right? Okay. That is the Orisha Tarot. Now, as far as your oracle reading, what is it that the ancestors want you to know about this? Like, what, in the grand scheme of things, what is the message? What is your overall message? What is the takeaway? And for some of you out there who I'm speaking to, yes, we realize that, you may have had a rough childhood, a rough upbringing, right? You could have even lost a child or children, plural, as we have. Trigger. For anyone who's easily so-called triggered. That's just going to be a general disclaimer on this video, period, so that you know this moving forward. But this is saying work on that, right? Work on that. Your card that showed up is number 2, Okran. And Okran's message is that the dangers of the world are always lurking, right? The dangers of the world are always lurking, never far away. So this is the message that the ancestors have been trying to get to you. Maybe you've picked up on that, maybe you have not. But if you had not, clearly, so you know what that message is that the ancestors wanted you to know, is that there are dangers out there lurking everywhere. You have to be vigilant. You have to be vigilant. You have to stay on guard. Sometimes you have to take the high ground. Sometimes you've got to invert yourself, right? This is a sacrifice. It may seem for some of you as if you are being some sort of sacrificial lamb. And for some of you, it may seem like you've always been that, right? Like you've always been the black sheep. You've always been the one that's had to go out there and fend for themselves. You've always been the one that's had to hustle to make things happen. But it's going to pay off. It is already paying off, right? You're not being tested for nothing. This is not for nothing. Don't want to disturb these other cards while we pull these away. So this final card is, what do the ancestors want you to do about this? Like, what can you do as far as the situation? And this is coming from the rest deck. What message do the ancestors have for the collective? What message do the ancestors have for the collective? And let's not forget to remind you guys that this 2 that comes with Okran, 2 is about choice, right? 2 is about decision. 2 is about crossroads in this instance, right? Meaning, be careful. Stay aware. Keep your eyes open. What message does the ancestors have for the collective right now? Okay. So your message from the ancestors. Actually, it showed up as 2 different messages, right? Just going to put this where you can keep track of them. Is to rest in a capitalist world takes practice and meticulous care, right? And again, ancestors were being very generous. You have 2 messages here. Your second message is, I will wander and flow more. Rest is an experiment. So overall, what that is saying is that for you, right, getting here where your ancestors are, getting into this position, that takes practice, right? That's not something that happens overnight. That is a practice that you have to work on to get that good, to have a totally different perspective, right? Care for those things that have been put before you. Take note of what is going on. Wander and flow more, meaning go with the flow of the day. Don't be so rigid in your day-to-day activities. Sometimes it's okay to just sit back and take note of what is happening in your life. Journal more, right? Meditate. Rest. Try breath work. Try sound therapy. Whatever it takes to rest. Experiment with yourself. Experiment with your options. Okay? And that, my friends, is our takeaway from today. The stones, the crystals that are used for your reading today was a fluorite, and used rainbow fluorite. Fluorite comes in so many different colors, but used rainbow fluorite. Okay, that was your crystal for today's reading, was rainbow fluorite. Aside from that, used a rainbow agate, a green rainbow agate. Okay, so take a screenshot. Hope you took notes. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Again, wish you all peace and blessings. This has been Innocent Smith, aka the Wellness Witch. Until next time, Ashe, everyone.